What's up, everybody? Big Will, K-Pop for life, coming back at ya. And today on this podcast rant, we're going to be talking about a couple things, namely Simon Cowell and his comments on BTS and how he supposedly predicted K-Pop's future. And we're going to talk about Kyla from Pristin, which is the bigger story and the one I'm more interested in talking about. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I post content pretty much daily, and we do everything from reactions to commentary to conversations to rant videos to you name it. I even do these podcasts now. So yeah, if you're interested in something deeper than just reaction videos, and you don't mind somebody with strong opinions who doesn't give a shit if he offends you, welcome home. Hit the subscribe button. But these are the newer form videos. This is only episode 2 of the podcast series, and I'm probably going to be doing 2 or 3 of these a week now. And recently, let's just jump into it. Recently, Simon Cowell, because BTS performed on America's Got Talent, and obviously he hosts that show. I think he was a co-creator of the show as well. BTS performed on there, and he said BTS and K-pop music are conquering the world music market, which, you know, no fucking shit. But Simon Cowell quoted said, "At last he has showed his interest in BTS just before the anticipated performance of the boy group on the hit show America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell talked to Hollywood Life, revealing that he was not at all shocked by the fact that K-pop was dominating the music industry. Simon Cowell is known to be the supporter of bands such as Little Mix, Westlife, Fifth Harmony, and especially one of the world's biggest bands, One Direction, who I actually like One Direction too. With a lot of experience after many years spent in the industry, it's not surprising that he can prophesy the success of K-pop. It's like a wave." This is a quote from him. "I had a meeting with Sony 3 years ago, and I remember telling them that there's this thing that's about to come to the East, and that's about to come from the East, and it's called K-pop, and it's going to crash on here." They were like, "What are you talking about?" "So I'm not surprised, and this is just the beginning," said Simon Cowell. The article goes on to write, clearly written by a BTS fan or somebody in would be considered ARMY. "Simon Cowell is not wrong. The performance of BTS on America's Got Talent last night has won the audience," poorly translated. "With BTS' increasingly attractive performance skills," somebody really needs to check their translations are awful sometimes, "the number of ARMYs will probably rise sharply in the near future." So let's talk about this for a minute. You know, this is a format that's meant to just talk and not be concise and not be punchy, just to have something to do while you're driving, while you're working, while you're listening out, it's working out, whatever. So no shit. I mean, I've been saying it for years, and I think anybody who was a fan of K-pop for a long time, because it'll be 6 years for me as a K-pop fan, could see it coming. It's very reminiscent of like the British wave back in like the 60s with like the Monkees and the Beatles, etc. And I think just like that wave, it will eventually, you know, after it crashes on the shore and makes a huge impact, recede back into the ocean. But that being said, he's not wrong. BTS is obviously the biggest damn thing in K-pop. They're slowly taking over the U.S. market. And my own personal feelings aside about their recent music and how I'm just not a big fan of it at all, BTS is an excellent ambassador, in my opinion, for K-pop. I don't think anybody in the K-pop world is surprised that it's BTS that has broken into the rest of the market. I think they would actually be a lot bigger if they all spoke English. I think it tends to hinder them a little bit. But that being said, they're all cute, they're all young, and they all appeal to a huge demographic of fans that is required to, you know, get this big, which is teenage girls. So it does not surprise me. And, you know, more power to them. I'm glad they're successful. You know, I always have concerns, though, about it. I always get worried, you know, a little bit just for the future and the sake of K-pop, because, you know, other record labels are going to chase the money, and they're going to see, hey, BTS is having success in that big-ass market that we're all wanting to get a piece of, i.e. the U.S., and, you know, they are going to change fundamentally what makes K-pop K-pop. And that's my only concern. Now, if K-pop was to come over here and sound like K-pop, that's fine. If it comes over here and sounds like Western pop with Korean being spoken in the song, I ain't about that life. And, you know, I think there's a healthy median. I understand that that as a whole and as a genre, music must grow and evolve and change, or people will get tired of it because it gets stagnant. I understand all that. But I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and I want shit to stay the same as it was, damn it. So, yeah, that being said, again, there's really not much to talk about there. I just thought it was worth mentioning. What are your guys' thoughts? You know, are you guys for BTS coming over here? Are you for the changes that it can bring, and the success and the other, you know, the pros and cons of it all that can come from something like that coming to America, knowing the influence, and knowing that some things will need to change in K-pop for it to appeal more to a Western audience on a broader scope. Yeah, leave your comments below. I'm pretty curious. And then the second thing of the day I want to cover is regarding Kyla from Pristin. Now, if you don't remember, last year, a while back, just to recap for anybody that may not know, and to recap for anybody that may have forgotten, she was a member in Pristin. And I believe, don't quote me on this, you can correct me in the comments, but I believe she's about 15 years old, right? 15 years old. And by the Korean standard of beauty, she is a little bit heavy, but she's 15. How many of these idols, come on, how many idols dramatically change how they look without plastic surgery, or at least without any like body modification plastic surgery, you know, like get their eyelids done or whatever, who cares? But, you know, they're not getting lipo, they're not getting like muscle removed from their ass and like taped to their feet or nothing weird. They're just maturing because they all start out so young. You know what I mean? They're maturing and they're growing into their bodies. And then, you know, chemical reactions occur within. Estrogen causes things to grow and shape a different way. And, you know, the testosterone causes the same thing. It's basic biology. But, you know, the netizens and the certain aspects of the fandoms, would give her constant grief to the point where basically Kyla had to leave Pristin, go back to the United States, because that's where she's from, I believe. And, you know, from what I can tell, she's basically seeking mental health help. And I don't blame her, you know what I mean? Because she's 15, man. She's 15. That's insane that she's even doing what she was doing. When I was 15, I was still riding my bike down dirt hills and, like, you know, pretending that I was fucking Superman. It's crazy to me that people were such assholes that they were giving her that shit. Now, if she was 25, you know what I mean? You know, I know it's a sensitive topic, but, like, my personal opinion on it is you're in Korea, you're a K-pop star, you're an idol. There are certain body and beauty standards that Korean people have in general. And then they have even more extreme ones when you become an idol or an actress. And if you want that job, it's part of the deal. So it pisses me off when people get mad about that aspect in that respect, because it's like, no. This is how it works. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. All right. Now there's exceptions to the rule, of course. But for the most part, you want to be famous, you need to be attractive. It's just common sense. So recently she has resurfaced, right? She hasn't been touring, she hasn't been doing any performances with them. Nothing. So she resurfaced, and I don't know who was following her around, but I mean, you'll see in these pictures I put up. She looks like she's gained a little bit of weight back, or more weight, I should say. But let's just read the news article on this, and I'll let you hear what somebody had to say. After nearly a year of halting activities, Kayla's current appearance makes K-pop fans believe she may not be able to return to the group. This whole article is bullshit. Just to give you the heads up. When I was reading this, I'm like, are you guys fucking joking me right now? Like, who wrote this article? After returning from the United States for health treatment, it seems that Kayla gained more weight and shows no sign of improving her appearance. That I'm not one for like any of the BS, body positivity crap nowadays. Like, I think people should feel comfortable in their own skin. But if you're grossly overweight, you're unhealthy. You're reducing your lifespan and increasing your risk of, diabetes and cancers and heart disease and many other things. So it's okay to be like, yes, I am who I am, but you should always seek to improve yourself. That's kind of where my standpoint is. But she's 16 now, bro. If my age is correct, she's 16. And she's got a bunch of whoever the fuck they are harping her about her weight, which, by the way, is not bad. Compared to the other members, yeah, she stands out a little bit because she's a little meatier. But, I mean, if you saw her on stage, no. Sorry, my alarm. I honestly think that, I'll finish the article in a second. I honestly think that a lot of the people that have a problem with this are men or dudes that have been attracted or have been told to be attracted to a certain thing their whole life. And then when they saw her, because I actually thought she had a pretty face. She wasn't in any way unattractive. She just didn't fit the body type that they've been told and taught and culturally accepted is what the norm is. So I think maybe they were like, you know what? She's attractive. I don't like that I feel this way because we're a homogenous culture. I'm going to lash out at her. Maybe it was something like that. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird if anybody was attracted to a 15-year-old girl, unless they are 15 to 16-ish. If you're older than that, you have other problems besides, this. But the rest of the article goes on to say, in October 2017, Kyla of Pristin decided to leave the group temporarily due to health and mental problems. Pledis Entertainment said that Kayla wouldn't participate in Pristin's promotional activities and had to return to the United States for treatment. Kayla was, I like this line, Kayla was netizen criticized, and she was said to be overweight compared to a normal person, not to mention the standards of an idol. Besides, Kayla seemed to be struggling when moving and dancing, which was not true. If you watch performances, she keeps up with everybody else. I don't know where they get that shit from. Despite the efforts of the stylist, Kayla's body cannot be hidden. What the actual fuck? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I really wish I could find the person who wrote this article. But so the article was actually part of like a community post from K-Buzz. Yeah, I know it's K-Buzz. It wasn't a video that K-Buzz did. It was just like one of those posts that are on the home feed, and it had a link to this, but I don't know where the link is. But it goes on to say she was not as popular as the other members of that group, which is also bullshit because after this stuff, at least from Western fans, she got so much attention in a positive way, and people were like, yeah. So that's kind of bullshit. Like in Korea, yeah, probably not. She was not as popular as members of the group. After that, Kayla completely evaporated from K-pop entertainment. After a year, K-pop fans started to find out Kayla's current image through social network and her friends. It can be seen, you'll put the pictures up now, it can be seen that Kayla is now out of stress and becomes more comfortable. However, it seems like Kayla has not solved the problem of her weight. the way they present this, it's such like a dick move. You know what I mean? Like she's 16. She's 16. She's a young girl. And it's like she may not even have a problem. She might just need to get to that age where your body's metabolism changes and, you know, estrogen production kicks in and you start, you know, growing or changing and maturing. Boy, it's so dumb. Like, oh, it's so dumb. Oh, it keeps going. Kayla shows no signs of losing weight, and she has even become chubbier. America is famous for its fast food, buttery, and fatty foods, so it's not a surprise that Kayla cannot lose weight. According to Kayla's current condition, netizens think that it's difficult for her to return to promote with the group. I think it's difficult to return to the promote with the group because she's a 16-year-old girl who has been completely devastated about something that all people, especially 16-year-old girls, are worried about, which is their looks. It's a hard industry. And then you know what? Just to play devil's advocate, look at it from the other side of the argument. It's a hard industry. And going into it, I don't know, since she was from the States, how well she was prepped. But she was a trainee. So, I mean, those expectations were set for her probably by the record label. I mean, you know, there's always stories of them trying to make them, you know, keep weight, maintain weight, lose weight, diet, you know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much that was enforced for Pristin and Kayla, but, you know, it comes with the territory, right? It comes with the territory. And unfortunately, you know, it also comes with consequences. You get lots of idols that have eating disorders from it. Lots of idols that go on ridiculous crash diets to cut weight, but, you know, you end up yo-yoing. I mean, look at Ailey, you know, or IU, you know, the crazy diet that people try, which is dumb. Like, I just put dirt on the tip of my tongue once a week and I'm stuffed. Like, it's ridiculous, the lengths that people go to. When I don't honestly think I think that the new, so if you're not familiar with, I'm just going to tangent over here. The JYP's Entertainment's new facility has a organic food and juice bar and all this crap. And, you know, I don't know if they do. I know they employ like, you know, managers and stuff that make them diet, but do they, maybe somebody who's from Korea, maybe shout out to Sweet Rain. Maybe you can tell me, since you live there, you're from there. Do these record labels, do these entertainment industries, do they employ and do they have and do they take seriously like dietitians and exercise coaches? Because I see some people like Unji, for example, from A-Pink. I see her on Instagram, you know, like lifting weights and lifting and doing like yoga and what would essentially be almost CrossFit type training. And when you train like that, you can eat very, very healthy. You can eat a lot of food and you can put on muscle, reshape your body. And I know that over there, it's very important that women maintain that fine, feminine frame. But I think there's also this misconception amongst everybody. I've never met a woman like, oh, I don't want to lift too many weights. I don't want to turn into a huge monster. You won't, all right? Unless you are a genetic fucking freak, you will not turn into a monster. Those monster women that look like centaurs on Miss Universe stage. And by the way, I'm not talking trash, but man, they don't look right. They're taking steroids. They're taking human growth hormone, HGH, some kind of performance enhancement, because it's just not physically possible for most women to get that massive unless there's a pharmaceutical aid. Now, that being said, you can look at like the aesthetics competition, and the aesthetics competition is where they look cut and tone, and they're not bulky, they're not like super mannish, but that is usually natural, because that is after tons and tons and tons of eating right, working out, and years of dedication. Naturally, that is what they get to most of the time, right? Just obviously I'm generalizing, but you get that, because it's not how, for the most part, the female frame is not built to get massive. It's the other way is how is their sort of the apex of their physical development, we want to say. So does there anybody in South Korea in these record labels that teaches them that? Because I always feel like they're just like, oh yeah, I just tried a new diet. I'm gonna squirt lemon juice into my eye and then just make sure I pee every hour. It's just like, why? And then there's always some dumbass on YouTube trying it too. I'm gonna try the IU diet. I'm gonna film myself peeing. I don't get it. I hope that there is. I hope that there's somebody that is teaching them the proper way to diet, because as somebody who had to learn my own body's mechanics, 2 years ago I was 365 pounds. I was just a fat ass, and I was like, man, I can't even tie my shoes without like having to like push all the air out of my lungs and tie really fast. And I tried a couple different things, and eventually went to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, you have high blood pressure. And I was like, okay. He's like, well, I'm going to give you this medication. I'm like, no, I'm not taking any medication. Like, what else can I do? And my doctor's kind of a dick, but he's very, very blunt, and I like him for it. He's like, eat better and work out. All right, have a good weekend, and walks out of the room. And I was kind of pissed at first. And I'm like, when I thought about it, I was driving home. I'm like, no, he's right. I mean, that's what I needed to hear. I need to stop being a lazy fuck, eat better, and work out. So that's what I did. And I cut my food down to 1,800 calories a day, and did a lot of high-intensity HIIT training. And then I switched over to like strongman training. And when I switched over to strongman training, I bumped my calorie intake up because I needed to. But let's just say I lost 70 pounds in 2.5 months. And then I added about 15, 20 pounds of muscle in another 2 months. And I haven't worked out in a couple of years now. But, when I did do that, I felt amazing. It worked out. I could eat what I wanted. And that's really how it is. You can eat a lot of food if you're working out properly, and if you're eating the right foods. So I'm really curious if they do that, because I feel like, they're gonna, if Kayla does come back, I feel like they're gonna starve her. You know what I mean? Or she's gonna go on some ridiculous diet. She's gonna get some eating disorder and start purging and binging, and I don't want to see that. She's just, I don't want to see another young victim in the K-pop mill. There's just. Every industry has flaws. Every industry has practices and shit that suck. And this is one of them in the K-pop industry that sucks, amongst many, many good practices. And I feel like, I hope that somebody who's a leading face in the industry, somebody who has the platform, one of the larger entertainment companies, or a big voice in K-pop, somebody who's a really big star, would employ this, would look into it, would teach themselves about it, and then spread the word and try to get it out there that, yeah, okay, you might lose 5 pounds, literally eating like a piece of lettuce a day and only sipping on water. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, I've seen K-pop idol diets like that, but you're not going to get actual results. You're gonna damage your body long term, and you're gonna get a fucked up metabolism. I forgot what it's called, but basically you screw with your metabolism so much with like the yo-yoing that it becomes abnormal, and you can't keep weight off, or you can't keep weight on, and then you have another problem. So I don't want to see these things happen. I want this issue to be addressed. Kayla, I hope that she comes back. I hope that somebody tells her straight up, somebody just tells her, like, listen, do you want to be a K-pop star or not? If she answers yes, well, you've got an opportunity of a lifetime here. So go back, suck it up, and we're going to get you a proper dietitian, a proper workout coach, and we're going to get you on a healthy way to lose this weight and to reshape your body in a way that the Korean fans and that the culture expects, because we're not going to change the culture here. All right, I know everybody wants to, but Korea is not America. You're not going to change the culture, and we have no right to. I don't think we should. I want that to be known. But if you want to be a K-pop star over there, this is part of the package, right? It's the way it is. But there's a better way to do that, is all I'm getting at. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you guys like this this new format. I hope you guys like the long form and just sort of more context, more content, more talking. I enjoy it because I don't have to cram everything I'm saying into one video. And you know, if you guys want to support the channel, if you watched this long, I appreciate it. If you've been around for a long time, I know who you are. I see all the comments. I try to answer all the comments when I can. And I don't know what's going on with the channel right now, but just a little bit of an update in the back end here. I know you guys are probably seeing my community posts. You've probably seen some of my stuff on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, both of those links are in the description below. Follow me over there. But I don't know what's happening right now. But from what I've been told, what I have observed, and what I have researched, my channel has been blacklisted. And basically it means the algorithm doesn't like something about it and has completely stopped me from being suggested in like 98% of anybody's box. So to give you an example, I went from about 60 subs a day, 50, 60 subs a day to almost none. And there's no explanation. Literally all of the arrows that used to be green and pointing up on my analytics page are all pointing down, and they look like a financial earnings report for Blockbuster Video. So I don't know what's happening, but if you want to support the channel, please share every video on Twitter, wherever. And if you really want to support the video, since pretty much revenue has died because they stopped putting ads on my videos because it's blacklisted, go to the Patreon link in the description below and support the channel that way. You get access to all kinds of cool stuff. I post videos pretty frequently there that nobody else gets to see, content that I can't put on YouTube because it will get my channel copyright striked or blocked entirely and what have you. So not that that matters, I guess, anymore, but I'm still going to keep posting videos. I'm still going to keep the channel going because I don't really care about the sub number. I just like making videos. I love talking about K-pop, and I hope you guys like watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button. I'm sorry to yammer on at the end here, but I appreciate you guys watching. And keep on popping, K-poppers. Remember, it's not a trend. It's a lifestyle. Deuces.